What's up, ladies and gentlemen? chuckfinleLP Crash Bash Part 9. We are here in Desert Fox. We will go after the gem crystal relic, just like we have been doing throughout Warp Room 4. And this we do have 30 minutes. So we lose a minute. The difficulty increases. Our bullets hurt them less. Hurts us more. The same strategy would really apply, like with the relics. Just find Cortex and shoot at him. You do have the rockets here, so that does help, and you want to be very careful about missing. See, oh wow, I forgot about the time. I forgot about the time limit. That's why I wasn't so concerned. But because and this is why Rillaroo and Dingo are a good choice, because you can shoot twice. Their bullets don't go at quite as far as Crash and Coco's does, and you don't have to worry about running out, of waiting a while if you miss. You see, like me, I still have to wait, and so that's why it's not a really good strategy to pick them. I mean, even with Kong and Cortex, or Kong and Tiny, they are better. Oh shoot! Cortex got the rockets. Now, something with the lobbing bomb, I didn't mention that it has a blast radius that you can use to your advantage, so that you can hit two people at once if you can get them close enough. The rockets are kind of the same way, except they don't have a blast radius. They have two characters, or two rockets that come out, and so it's of course, yeah, it wasn't a whole lot I could do. I was kind of stuck back there with the TNT. This is why I was afraid that this was going to take me a while, and that's why I didn't want to do all this at Part 8, because I know how long it could take, or it can take. I'll let Rillaroo blow up with that. The thing with this is one really bad thing about at least being Crash and Coco on this level, or I guess really any character, like Cortex or whoever here, the other Brio on this level, is because it's open and you don't have that. It's not, close quarter corridors, and so you don't. If you do miss, it takes a while because how far your bullet travels, and it will take quite a while for you to be able to come back. And that's why you have to be so precise, like with anybody else, except for with Tiny or Kong or Dingo and Rillaroo. You can just shoot and you don't really have to worry. Of course, you still want to be accurate, especially with a timed event like this. But it's not as important because your bullets will go away faster. In Dingo Rillaroo's case, avoid the attacks from the totem pole, and I'll point those out once they get going. You can see the background here is kind of like the what do you call them? The native levels from Crash 1. You can see, more like the hog areas, because you really didn't see too much town, or like in a town setting anywhere else in the game. But you can see what the totem pole is doing is that it will spin around the arena, and once it finds you, it will throw that little ball out. The ball hurts you for quite a bit of damage, but it can also hit the other players as well, and that's a good thing to help you out, because if you notice how much damage I'm doing to these people, it's definitely worth taking the time to try and use it. Of course, you can just wait around and let the other players blow themselves up. with rocket or with TNTs and nitros and all that, you know, providing support here and there to to help them out. But for the most part, you really just want to let them take each other out. Let the totem pole help you. Surprised that worked. Not too difficult if you're using anybody but Crash or Coco. With Tiny and Dingo, it makes it a little bit, or not Tiny and Dingo, but Tiny and Kong, it makes it a little bit easier. But still, you have to remember that the difficulty is on hard, and so your bullets are going to hurt for a lot less. Even with Tiny and Kong's bullets, which hurt leaps and bounds more than Crash and Coco's, you're still not going to do that much damage. And so even though you're still using Tiny and Kong, the best people to have on a ball game, or not a ball game, a tank game, it's still not going to do a whole lot for you in the long run because of the difficulty. And I think I might have mentioned this during my first playthrough through here, but the totem pole will come apart, I believe, within the 27 seconds of the round starting. I believe it fell down at 103, and this is not a bad strategy. Take out Cortex first. Let the AI let the AI kill themselves with Kong and Tiny and Rillaroo. You want to be careful because I was gonna say, kind of boxed in there. Tiny was coming up to me, Dingo or Rillaroo was right there waiting to get me. There wasn't a whole lot I could do there, to be honest. This isn't like the other events or the other levels where you can just say, okay, well, you go after Cortex and then find somewhere to hide. It doesn't really work like that, because Tiny can come and get you wherever he wants to, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. I guess within the first 26 seconds. But if you can pin them around, if you can get them around the totem pole, that will help. It won't do a whole lot in the long run, but it will help at least. Oh, crap. Oh, wow, really? There was nothing I could do. Someone would have got me there. He shouldn't have been able to get the rockets there. And you want to be accurate again. It's just and so a good way to make the AI get away from you is just to drop a mine behind you, and that will, especially if you're pinned into a corner, they will scatter at least a little bit. Maybe you can get one fruit, that will definitely help, especially if the person you're fighting, in this case Cortex, doesn't get a one fruit as well. And it's better to shoot a rocket than let one of the AI characters get it. But that doesn't really work so well with Crash and Coco's bullets because they move so slow. I'm still not convinced that Dingo and Rillaroo's bullets move the slowest. I think that Coco's and Crash's bullets move the slowest, just because of how long it takes for them to get back. I mean, you watch how fast Dingo's or Rillaroo's bullets shoot or can travel. The totem pole will take Rillaroo out here in a moment. Probably should have just waited. There we go. I'm not sure damage-wise. Again, I based the damage off of the relics, and everybody's bullets hurts pretty bad. Consistently. The one bad thing about, even if Crash's bullets are better than Rillaroos and Dingo's strength-wise, you have to think about traveling speed, and it's better to have fast, consistent bullets that will not really speed, but strength, or how long they last. You don't want to have Cortex bullets. You watch, you look around and see when Cortex misses, and just, oh crap! I thought that was gonna kill him. And you can see just how long his bullet stays in the arena, while other bullets like Tiny's and Rillaroos doesn't last quite as long. And you do want to save one like this. It wouldn't be smart to waste it so early on. You definitely want to watch out in case you do. Now, if you can pin someone up against the TNT or dynamite, or not dynamite, a mine, like that is definitely good. But you don't want to waste. You don't want to just sit there and just keep taking damage from it for no reason. You see, now I'm in a bad spot where if one of Rillaroos' bullets hit me, I'm going to die. Maybe that, of course, I was gonna say maybe that totem head will help me, but I don't think he will. You have to watch out for the totem heads. They are an added thing that you do have to watch out for. Which does stink, it's a lot easier. It would be a lot easier if you didn't have to worry about them, but they help with damage. So it's it's a good thing to use to your advantage if you can. And I don't know what it is. It's like they stay away from me in the first round, but then in the second round, both Tiny and Cortex Swarm, come right to me. Well, look at Tiny. He's going straight for Rillaroo, but he can't do that on the second round for whatever reason. Oh well, I guess they're not. I guess they're all getting around me now. Nope. Yeah. Just need to drop more Wumpa Fruit. That would be definitely be a good thing if they did more often. Ah, crap. I may have to cut here. I don't want to waste too much time on this. If I do die again, I will go ahead and cut to where I beat this. There's nothing really special. There's nothing to see. You've already seen me win a couple of these rounds, so I do apologize. I'll see you in a second. Alright, so so I'm back, finally. I've spent maybe 20 minutes trying to do that. What I would keep doing is I would win, then I would lose, and I would win one round, then I'd lose the next one, because the same thing would happen. Tiny and Cortex would gang up on me, and then I could never get away. Come back the next round, Tiny would go off and attack Rillaroo, and it would just leave me with Cortex. Happened every time. And there's nothing I could do. I finally ended up beating it because Tiny had I had missed Tiny and Cortex's first shots, and then I got lucky with some missiles that had come around. I was able to shoot. I was able to get rid of Rillaroo. Rillaroo was the one that would always be the one usually that was left and would take me out if I was even close to winning the second round, which didn't happen all that often. But and then I was Rillaroo fell, and then Cortex fell, and then I was able to take Tiny out with long range with some rockets, and so it worked out finally. But it took way too long, and it was filled with BS. But anyway, so this is the same as Dot Dash, except with less time. And you have the barrels, the explosive, the barrels, and the little sludge balls to deal with. But past that, nothing new, nothing different. Not that hard. Just stick with the inside, and you should be fine. You'd have to watch out for the shockwave stars, the star shockwaves. But if you can stay away from those, you should be okay. Just be careful when you boost. You don't want to boost too much, especially around the green around the green blobs. But other than that, you should be fine. Okay, so this is avoid getting sludge in your engine. So you have to make sure that you do not fall off the sides, because if you do, you will your engine will get filled with sludge and you will run a lot slower. This will only happen to you. By the way, so you do have to be careful. It's not permanent. It will go away after a few seconds, but you still have to deal with the sludge being in your engines. So you definitely want to be careful and watch out for that. But anyway, it's kind of random with me. Sometimes I'll go through the entire race and not get any sludge in my engine. Sometimes I'll just keep getting knocked off and have to do the race again. It really just depends on how often the AI can get Wumpa Fruit to boost into me, and if I get lucky to avoid their star shockwaves. That's pretty much it. That's what you have to contend with. But anyway, so not too difficult. This will be kind of difficult just because they seem to get a better acceleration at the start, and because they will try to hit you with star shockwaves and try to boost into you more to knock you off. So this won't be quite as easy as some of the other rounds, but usually at least one guy will get hit by the one barrel on the inside of the track. The sludge balls don't change their position. They are always in the middle of the track, so you can't avoid them if you stay on the outside or the inside. But as you saw with Rillaroo, he purposefully waited until I was near, and so did Dingo and Kong. Actually, just purposely waited till I was around them before they used their star shockwaves. That's just something that happens. You do have to watch out for it. You can't avoid it outside of just trying to stay away from someone who has a star shockwave. But there ain't no way I'm going to be able to win. They're already too far ahead of me, and Kong has such a huge boost. He'll probably dump most of it trying to win the race here. Yeah, I failed as soon as I got knocked off the track early on, and then just kept repeatedly getting knocked off. But it's just kind of lucky with the star shockwaves. They are random. They don't appear in the same place. At least I've never seen anything appear in the same place twice. So it is all random. And you can use the star shockwaves. I usually don't, because none of them appear on the inside of the track, and that's where I like to stay. So I don't usually go after the star shockwaves, but they do work good, especially if someone's up around you. That they definitely will help. But I don't suggest going out of your way for them, ever, to be honest. But anyway. And there you go. That is only one, though, so. We'll try and win another one. Hopefully we won't get screwed up at the start as bad, and this is already going to be bad, I can tell. I have come back from worse, but it really does hurt if you're already about a lap and a half behind at the start. Takes quite a bit of doing to be able to fix yourself. Ah, crap. You have to be careful with that. I did try to use the boost to straighten myself up, but wasn't really a whole lot I could do there. Come on. In a situation like this, all you can do is don't keep boosting to the center of the ring. That is one of the bad things about staying on the inside, that you have an increased chance of continuously running on the inside of the track like that. Uh, oh, if only, if only. But anyway, of course, again, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. If you get hit by a shockwave, you can't, like, break yourself or slow yourself down or anything. You have to sit there and ride it out the entire way to be able to, or you won't be able to move. And if you get a big, you know, if one of the AI characters gets a big lead like Kong, it's pretty hard for them to mess themselves up enough so that they will become knocked off. Come on, Dingo, get out of the way. Yeah. There's not a whole lot I can say. You know, I mean, you already know what happens, and so for time reasons, if I do fail again, I will go ahead and cut until I win again, and I probably looks like I will lose, so I'm just preparing you for it ahead of time. But maybe not. Ah, crap. Like I said, you do have to be careful. You can't, you just kind of have to turn. You can see kind of how how Crash is jerking instead of it being a smooth, steady motion. It's more of like jerking because I'm just tapping the turn button. I'm not holding it down, and that's really the only way that you can go around in the inside. If you hold it down, you'll end up just spinning in place. So you just kind of have to tap it. And that's how you have to do it anywhere on the track. Of course, if you stay on the outside, or if you ride the middle more, then you will you won't have to keep tapping it as much because you'll have a lot more room to maneuver around in. But for the most part, you know, you still have to do it to some degree. I am so glad that I didn't add those star things anywhere else other than this track, and that's why I don't play this track that often. It's just because of those star things that keep coming up for no reason. And those little sludge balls, usually if I can stay on the inside and I don't keep getting tossed around for no reason, I can usually stay away from them. There's no way I can win unless, yeah, okay, sorry again, but I'm not going to keep continuously, well. This game can get very frustrating very quickly. Especially the harder the levels, the more you fail, especially over BS things like this. You know, you just keep getting screwed over by those star shockwaves, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And you know, it just keeps happening over and over. And the more you fall, the more you get into that position, and the more frustrated you get. And then it just makes this game not that much fun, to be honest. Especially once you get to the sapphire relics, when things get a lot harder. That's when it gets really frustrating, because you have to win 3 times in a row for the sapphire relics, and you know, you win 2 after a whole bunch of failures, and then you win, and then you lose, and it just piles on after a while. And if you have trouble with the gold relics, there's almost no way you can do the sapphire relics easily, just because the difficulty is increased, as I've mentioned before. And okay. and the it's just a lot harder. Okay, so Dingo's ahead of me. Only by about half a lap. Never mind. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut. I do apologize, but I'll, Alright, so welcome back. Finally did it. I only had to play about 6 more rounds after I quit. It wasn't too difficult. Well, yeah, no, it was difficult. I'm not even gonna pretend like it wasn't. It was pretty bad. It's always at the start, you know, when Dingo and Rillaroo would get blown up by the barrels, a star would usually pop up and Kong would hit me, and that would just set the whole thing off, like what happened to me early on. And there's just nothing I could really do about it. Just got lucky that time it didn't. But anyway, so win by being the first to decrease your score to 0 in the allotted time limit. So they only knocked off 5 seconds. But usually you can get done faster than that. Now, there's this very odd glitch here. If you notice, everyone, I think, I started with 30 and everyone else started with 25. And if you notice, Cortex and Rillaroo are not scoring any points. Crap. Now, they are scoring points for me. Or, I'm sorry, Cortex is scoring points for me, and Rillaroo is scoring points for Kong. Now, if you watch them pop my balloons, or pop their own color balloons, and then you watch my score, and you can watch it go down. And like I said, I don't know why that happens, but that has happened to me ever since I started playing this game. Or at least doing this particular event. Crap. Come on. Come on, turn something that I can use. There we go. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why it happens in 2-player co-op as well. The colors red and green don't score points for themselves, or a team effort. Well, yeah, I guess it does happen in 2-player co-op because the scores are combined, but just on single player, that's how it does, and I don't know why, but it definitely helps. I've had a few times where Cortex or I guess it was Cortex would get a vacuum cleaner, and I would just sit there and defend him while he was sitting there getting all his points. But anyway, so for this one, avoid bursting balloons that are not your own color. So you have to avoid hitting balloons, the red, green, or blue balloons. If you do, that results in an instant death, failure. You want to be careful about starting the black balloon run, because especially in a situation just like that, you're just going after a balloon by itself, or you're going after or if you have a vacuum cleaner and then they start, it definitely hurts. And sometimes just being in a group of balloons like that will hurt as well. You just have to be careful and pretty much just stay away from any balloons that are near other balloons. Let the enemy, the AI clear out the balloons themselves. And just, in a situation like this, all you can do, you don't want to start the black balloon things, or keep it going any longer than you have to. So just you always want to watch the AI characters if they kind of stray away too far from where they're supposed to go, which usually means they're going after the black balloon. And really all you need to do is just get a big enough score and then ride the clock out. Anything over 20 to 20 to 22, you should be okay, especially if you get it early on. If you can get the score early, or a whole bunch of score early on, you shouldn't have to worry about that. You do have to worry about balloons, because if you notice the balloons are moving up and down, they can actually get so low that that they can hit you while you're on the ground. In a situation like this, you just don't want to touch any balloons at all. Just don't even look at a balloon unless you know absolutely that it is so far away that it's not even going to hurt you. Just stand in the middle of the arena, don't do anything, and you should be okay. But if you want to try to get the vacuum cleaner and get a whole bunch of points racked up early on, and that means that the AI won't get a whole bunch of points because they're following you around. If you can go through 2 vacuum cleaner cycles and keep the balloon, you keep the vacuum through that whole cycle, you can rack up a whole bunch of points easy, and it's a lot easier that way and a lot more convenient. And that kind of ensures you a win. Of course you want to watch other characters and always go after the box if you want to, just to keep the balloon from them. That's definitely a good idea. But anyway, so the arena champions are Crash, Cortex, Brio, and Coco. Same rules as all the other events, or all the other relic events. But because Coco is here, it means that you're not going to have that she can actually defend herself from getting the vacuum cleaner taken from her, and she can hit you a lot easier than other characters might, like Cortex or Brio, or Cortex or Kong would be able to if this was just a regular event. And you don't want to start the black balloon run, because if you can help it, of course, if you have to, you have to, but it's usually best not to, unless, like, in a situation like this, if they keep doing it, you want to go ahead and do it just so that you can gain some points. You can see Cortex, or Coco, and Brio has more points than I do, so I would want to go ahead and get it just so I can get some points myself. If the box would come up, I could try to score some more. Try to get a vacuum cleaner and score some more. There we go. Oh. You don't want to mess around and wait for a vacuum, of course. I kind of figured that was gonna happen. But yeah, this can actually be a pretty tough event because once the difficulty thing, the increase in difficulty, and Coco being here, because these are all small characters, they can move a lot faster than the big characters can. That means they can get to their balloons a lot quicker than the big characters can. And if they have a oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. And because Coco is here, she can defend herself from getting hit, or from getting hit if she has a vacuum cleaner. She can hit you a lot easier if you end up having a vacuum cleaner, and so you just want to be very careful. Ah, crap. Didn't even get a chance to use it. There you go. You just jump into those. Don't really care for this event, to be honest. Ring Ding, there's just too many BS things like this, where you have to do everything perfect, and there's too many gimmicks involved. Yeah, even right now, I got about 4 points ahead of Brio. You don't want to rest. You want to keep going out. You want to keep going after balloons until the clock runs out completely, or you could end up getting. You could end up getting overtaken by Brio, or by someone if you just sit around. You know, this isn't like the Pogo games. This is a lot smaller arena, and points are easier to get to in this event than in the Pogo games. So you never want to sit still for too long, unless you have a vacuum cleaner. But even then, you want to keep on the move. You want to keep moving. And you don't, if you have two people going after you, unless it's Coco coming after you as well, you don't really want to try to attack two people. Like if it is Coco, you want to try and hit them both in one go. But because Coco can spin, she's a little bit more useful than the tail whip, so it's not really something you can do all that very easily. As I said, you never want to sit still for too long. Thankfully, they don't really go after the purple box all that much. What they will do, though, is they will go after you if you have it a lot more often than anything. And because Cortex is so tiny, you can actually jump over him with Crash, his laser. But if you're going after Brio, you want to spin him because Brio is a lot taller than Cortex, so you can't really jump over him that easily. So you just want to keep that in mind while you're dealing with Cortex. But anyway, so that's the 4th warp room clear. We have 22 of everything, so we'll go into the 5th warp room. And I'll probably end the video there. I hate to. I know this one isn't this. Well. Yeah, I should have unlocked Splash Dash, Drag and Drop, and Mallet Mash. The rest of these I needed 23 crystals for Swamp Fox, 25 gems for Keg Kaboom, and for Dante's Dash I needed trophies. So, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Next time we will complete Splash Dash, Drag and Drop, Mallet Mash. As long as these don't take me too long, then we'll move on to Swamp Fox, Keg Kaboom, and Dante's Dash, or just stop. You know, like I said, I don't want to make the videos too long. If I have trouble with these 3 levels, and I'm pretty sure I will, at least with Drag and Drop and Mallet Mash, and probably the Relic for Splash Dash, I may just end the video after completing Mallet Mash, but yeah, I don't know yet. But anyway, so thank you for watching. Challenge of the video is how many times did I miss while or during the all the events of Jungle Fox. Thank you for watching. Until next time.